Rain slid down the glass walls of the Orem Sky Lounge, tracing golden reflections from the city lights below. Leon Armand, 35, CEO of Armand Global Holdings, sat alone at a window table. To the world, he was brilliance and authority personified. To himself, he was a man surrounded by noise but starved of meaning. His friend and CFO, Darius Quinn, had talked him into a blind date. "You need someone real, Leon. Someone who reminds you that life isn't a quarterly report," Darius had said. Leon had half agreed, half mocked the idea, until Darius added, "She's stunning. Like a model." A model. The word lingered. Maybe beauty could distract him from the emptiness for one night. Across the city, Mara Eleanor adjusted the strap of her faded blue dress in a cracked mirror. Her 5-year-old son, Eli, sat on the bed, kicking his heels and asking, "Is it work again, Mommy?" "Not tonight," she whispered. "Just dinner." Her friend Rosa had set her up. "He's rich but kind," Rosa had said. "Maybe you deserve a little kindness, Mara." Mara didn't believe in miracles anymore, not since her husband vanished, leaving death and silence behind, but she went anyway. Maybe to feel seen again. The lounge shimmered when she entered, too much glass, too much polish. Leon spotted her instantly. Not glamorous, not glittering, yet something about her felt disarmingly genuine. He rose. "Mara?" She nodded. "Mr. Armand?" "Leon," he said, gesturing for her to sit. Their talk began stiffly. She spoke of her 2 part-time jobs at a bakery and cleaning offices. He asked the wrong question. "You don't model, do you?" Mara blinked, then smiled wryly. "Only survival." For the first time in years, Leon laughed, really laughed. They spoke for hours, about life, loss, and the strange ways people keep going. Mara told him of Eli, how he drew stars on their wall because the sky was too far. Leon found himself confessing things he never had, the father he resented, the loneliness success couldn't cure. "I can buy anything," he murmured, "except peace." "That's because peace isn't for sale," she replied. Her words stayed with him long after he drove her home to a rundown apartment block. At the door, she smiled softly. "Thank you for the ride." "Thank you for the evening," he said. And when she disappeared inside, Leon realized the silence in his car felt less empty than before. Days became weeks. Messages turned into calls, calls into laughter. Leon visited her bakery, flower on her cheek and light in her eyes. They became friends, honest, grounding friends. But hardship returned. Mara's landlord sold the building. When Leon offered to buy it outright, she refused. "If you fix every problem, I'll forget how to stand on my own," she said. For the first time, Leon understood strength. Then came disaster. A tabloid headline screamed, "CEO's secret affair with single mother." The media devoured it. "Marcus, no," Darius stormed into Leon's office. "Deny it. You'll lose everything." "I won't lie," Leon said. "She's no one. Don't ever call her that." Mara's life unraveled, job lost, gossip relentless. She stopped answering his calls. One night, Leon stood outside her apartment in the rain. "You shouldn't have come," she said through tears. "Your world crushes people like me." "Then I'll change it," he pleaded. "You can't fix everything with money. Sometimes love isn't enough." The door closed. And Leon, for the first time, stood powerless. The rain hadn't stopped since that night, the night she closed the door. For Leon Armand, the sound had become a haunting rhythm, each drop echoing the words he couldn't forget. You can't fix everything with money. Sometimes love isn't enough. He replayed them endlessly, sitting in the dark of his penthouse, a home filled with luxury but stripped of warmth. The city lights shimmered far below, but inside, everything felt hollow. For weeks, he buried himself in work, pretending to be the same relentless CEO everyone admired, but the mask was cracking. His board demanded statements, the media speculated endlessly, and investors whispered. And when the board meeting finally came, Darius Quinn, his oldest friend, wouldn't even look at him directly. "Leon," he said carefully, "this isn't personal. It's business. The scandal's hurting the company. You should step down, temporarily. Leon nodded slowly, eyes distant. Temporarily, he repeated. But he knew the truth: once you give up a throne, it rarely waits for you to return. When the boardroom emptied, Leon stayed seated, staring at his reflection in the glass table, the reflection of a man who had conquered everything except himself. The days that followed blurred together. No meetings. No interviews. Just silence. And for the first time in 15 years, Leon had no reason to wake up early. He wandered through Valoria City with no destination, through crowded markets, narrow alleys, coffee shops where no one recognized him. The city he once ruled over looked entirely different from the ground level. He saw people struggling, hustling, smiling through exhaustion. People like Mara Eleanor. And slowly, he began to understand the world through her eyes, a world where dignity mattered more than pity, and kindness was worth more than wealth. One day, as he passed a community center, he noticed a sign. Volunteers needed, Valoria Children's Haven. Without thinking, he walked in. The inside smelled of paint and paper. Children laughed in the distance. An older woman, the head volunteer, looked up from her desk. Name, she asked. Leon, he said simply. Experience? None, he admitted. But I want to help. And that's how it began, quietly, humbly. The once untouchable CEO now swept floors, served lunch, and helped repair broken toys. He was clumsy at first, out of place, yet strangely peaceful. Each smile from a child filled a part of his emptiness. Weeks passed. The tabloids forgot him. The city moved on. And then, one afternoon, he heard a familiar voice behind him. Didn't think I'd see the great Leon Armand holding a paintbrush. He froze. The brush slipped slightly from his hand. When he turned, she was standing there, Mara, hair tied up, a paint-smeared sweatshirt on, her brown eyes softer but stronger than ever. For a moment, neither spoke. Then she smiled faintly. I volunteer here sometimes. Eli loves it, says painting walls is like painting the sky. Leon smiled back, the ache in his chest both painful and healing. Then I'm in the right place too. Over the next few weeks, they painted, cooked, repaired furniture, side by side. The awkwardness faded, replaced by quiet companionship. Sometimes they laughed. Sometimes they worked in silence. But it was a different silence, one that healed rather than hurt. Leon never brought up the past. Neither did she. Yet every brushstroke, every glance, carried unspoken forgiveness. One afternoon, as they sorted donated books, Mara spoke softly. You didn't have to come here, you know. Not after everything. I didn't come to fix anything, Leon said. I came to understand. She looked at him for a long moment. And did you? He nodded slowly. You were right. Peace isn't something you buy. It's something you earn, by showing up, by caring, even when there's nothing in it for you. A small, proud smile curved her lips. You've changed, Leon. He chuckled quietly. Or maybe I just started seeing the world you've been living in all along. One evening, near closing time, little Eli ran to Leon, his hands stained with crayon colors. Look what I made, he said excitedly. Leon knelt to see the picture, a simple drawing of 3 people standing under one big umbrella while rain fell around them. The figures smiled, hand in hand. It's you and Mommy, Eli explained. You're keeping the rain away so it doesn't hurt us. Leon stared at it, emotion rising in his throat. That's beautiful, Eli. The boy grinned, proud, and ran off again. Mara watched quietly from across the room. Her eyes met Leon's, and for the first time since that stormy night, there was no pain in them. Just understanding. As weeks turned to months, something remarkable happened. The shelter expanded, new rooms, better facilities, more food supplies. The staff didn't know where the funds came from, but the anonymous donor insisted on remaining unnamed. Mara suspected, of course. But she never asked. Some gestures were too pure to question. Leon, now working full-time with the foundation, had found a new purpose. He no longer chased profit or headlines. He chased moments that mattered: laughter, connection, meaning. One afternoon, as they locked up, Mara said quietly, "Eli's starting school soon. He's nervous, but happy." Leon smiled softly. "He's a brave kid. He has his mother's strength." She looked at him thoughtfully. "And he has your kindness." For a moment, they stood there, the golden sunset pouring through the shelter windows. "I'm sorry," Leon said finally, his voice rough. "For everything my world did to yours." Mara shook her head. "No. You've already said it, not with words, but with what you've become." He exhaled, a slow, trembling breath, the kind that comes after years of carrying invisible weight. Months later, on a rainy evening, Leon returned to the same rooftop restaurant where they first met. He sat by the window, just like before. But this time, he wasn't waiting for a model or a distraction. He was simply remembering. He pulled a worn-out crayon drawing from his wallet, the one Eli made, and smiled faintly. Rain trickled down the glass, but it no longer sounded lonely. Because somewhere across the city, in a cozy apartment filled with laughter, a single mother and her little boy were smiling too. And in their shared silence, they all knew love didn't need grand declarations. It just needed people who stayed.